Hello and welcome to another episode of the Impactful Introvert Podcast. And this is the fourth in the series where I'm trying to help you implement a marketing strategy that is very personalized to you, to your lifestyle, to your personality, etc. So, I am doing this series where I am trying to help you book a client within the next 30 or 60 days. So, how do you set up your marketing in such a way that it doesn't feel overwhelming anymore? It feels good when you actually sit down to do all your marketing tasks, and it is doable in many ways than just time or energy or whether you like it or not. So that is what the whole series is about. This is episode number 4 in the series. Episode 1 was all about answering what is it that you're doing that you feel like you're doing everything possible and yet you're not signing clients. So that was episode 27, I'm thinking. Yeah, that was episode 27, I think. And the next episode in the series is all about understanding what the difference between marketing and sales is. Marketing and sales are two different aspects of running your business. Like, in my opinion, your business has three prongs: marketing, sales, and delivery. That entire thing, marketing, sales, and delivery, is what makes up your business. So, everything else that you can add is just good to have, but you need to have a marketing plan, a sales strategy, and definitely how are you going to deliver, what is the delivery process, etc. So that is what was episode 2. And episode 3, I talked about understanding why you are doing whatever action you choose, whatever tool you choose, whatever platform you choose, anything that you're choosing. Always be clear about the why. Why are you choosing that? So that when you actually sit down, you know that this action is impacting my business. It's impacting the way I want to market in this specific way. And that is when understanding if your marketing is working or not becomes a lot easier. Understanding if now is the right time to switch your strategy or tweak any of the steps is the best thing or not. Because when you know why you're doing something, and when you understand that, okay, these are the steps I'm taking, this is why I'm taking, then the KPIs, as they say, the metrics that you look at, become more streamlined and have a better value, because it is very easy and tempting to go check out how many people have liked the post that I just published, or to see how many people have subscribed to my email list, or how many have unsubscribed and start feeling very defeated, or like people don't like me. It is very, very common. And the highly sensitive people, introverts who are putting in so much effort to finally like get people to notice and like them, it is very hard to see the unfollows, the unsubscribes, etc. So all of these, yeah, there is mindset work needed to manage all of the thoughts that come with these results in your business, which are inevitable. But it also helps to know why, like, I don't need to care about the unsubscribes, at least not right now. For example, like, I participate in, I contribute in bundles and summits. That is one of the strategies I use to grow my email list. So I know logically that I'm using this to grow my email list, and not every person who signs up to these bundles is interested in hearing from me. And I also understand, as someone who has uh, leveraged bundles to learn, to improve my knowledge, I don't always read all the emails. And many a times, depending on the kind of content that I'm downloading, I unsubscribe from the email almost immediately after having downloaded the resource. So I know all of this, I logically understand all of this, and yet, after a bundle, my email list has grown by almost 100 or 150 people, and I see my open rates have gone down. So, what gives? I added all of these people so I could have more people who are my ideal clients who want to work with me. But if they don't even want to listen to me, they don't even want to open my emails, then what will make them want to work with me? And it is not something that I consciously think of. All of this is happening without my knowledge, and there is a feeling of heaviness that I did all of this work and it didn't work. What is this? What else can I do? So probably bundles is not the right thing. I should probably participate, contribute to summits, or host my own summit, because there are a lot of people who are saying how amazing it is to host a summit or host a bundle for yourself. And let me tell you, it is not simple. It is not easy. Yes, there are benefits, and those benefits do not come for everyone. It's not a, okay, this time I will just host a bundle and my email list will grow exponentially with people who want to sign up for my coaching program. Like, that is just delusion. That is not logical thinking. I come to the conclusion that that is not going to work out as I dream of it only when I think logically. But in the moment of feeling like, oh, people are not even opening my emails, my next thought is, how do I fix this? And okay, this shiny thing came across my feed when I was scrolling, or the thing that I downloaded from being um, going to somebody else's bundle and checking their stuff out, and the the title looked very enticing, and I downloaded it, and now I feel like maybe I should switch it up. So all of this to say that when you know what you're doing and why you're doing, it becomes easier to manage your mindset. So you don't have to spend all of that time just managing your mindset and then just figuring out what strategy to work on. So all of this kind of works very cohesively if you are mindful about what you're doing. So that was what I wanted to express in episode 3 in this series. However, I seem to have done really well, like explained it a lot better in this one. So let's go to today's episode now. Today, I am coming to you um, with a very important aspect. I'm still not giving you what action to take. And honestly, as I have been going through this series, as I have been planning out the content, I realize my goal was never to give you, okay, post on Instagram and then get people to your podcast and then get people to your email list and then get people to do this. Like, that was never what I was going to tell you anyway, because Instagram may not even be your thing, and it may be for some, it may not be for anybody. And maybe you're on a platform that I'm not even aware of. Maybe you're leveraging Pinterest already really well, whereas I just explored Pinterest like 4 or 5 years ago, and I have no clue. I have no clue what's going on with Pinterest anymore because I haven't stayed in touch with it. So instead of telling exactly what to do, this whole series is for you to understand what you can do that enhances what's already working and just makes life easier, business feel easier. That's my intent with this. So with that being said, the next thing, after knowing whatever you're thinking, like, I want I don't really like Instagram very much when it comes to using all of it. I do not use it. There are aspects to it which just feel too hard for me, and understanding that they feel hard to me, but I don't have to completely give up on Instagram. I can leverage. Currently, it's working out in my favor. I do not mind the carousels and the reels, but the stories and the IGTV or lives, all of that are just not going to fit into my schedule. I am not about do as much as you can, do everything possible. That's good for a certain phase. However, that's not sustainable, and I want my business to feel like I can do this long term. I don't want to burn out. So, when you understand the why, then you leverage the tool to work for you instead of trying to mold yourself to fit to the tool. That is the that is the biggest, easiest way to make your business feel easy for you. So, in this episode, what I want to talk to you about is, again, before you go to the tool, before you figure out how many times you want to post content every day, every week, which platforms you want to post it in, and what formats, great, but we are still not there yet. And the step that you need to focus on right now is to understand what is your client journey look like. Here's the thing, saying I'll be on 3 social media platforms, I will guest on these many podcasts, I will host my own lives, and I will do guest interviews on my platform. And I will definitely have an email list because everybody's talking about it, including Seema. And I will then get people on webinars and I will host challenges. Okay, like, did you not just feel exhausted hearing the list of things that I will do? If you're not exhausted, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. How much energy do you have? Please give me some. It feels too much. It is way too much. It is way too much when you're doing it all by yourself. If you have a team, then all of this will not feel as heavy, as um, exhausting, because you have support where you can delegate tasks to other people who will handle certain responsibilities. But when you're doing all of this by yourself, just the act of scheduling is quite energy intensive. Yeah, you can send the person your link, but in my experience, people live all over the world and times don't match. And I am not yet in that phase of business where I can say boldly that fit yourself to my schedule. Like, it doesn't even feel right because I'm from India living in Canada, which means if I have someone in India, I totally understand how difficult it is for them to fit their, like, if they want to be a guest on my podcast, I can't tell them, yeah, I have time between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. PST, because that's like 10:30 p.m. right now. Like after DST, it's 10:30 p.m. in India. And if I'm being honest, that is not fair of me. So I will have to figure out a time that works for me and works for them, which means I have to spend some time going back and forth. So understand what your boundaries are, understand why you're doing it, and yeah, figure out how you're going to make it happen. Every step takes energy, and it becomes easier to understand how you're going to take care of your marketing, where you're going to show up. It's not just important understanding where your people hang out, like that is essential, but what is the purpose of that platform? How is it helping your client go from being a stranger into becoming your client? And that is what the client journey map is. What is the journey that they are going to take? One of the coaches I follow calls her calls this client journey map as the yellow brick road from Wizard of Oz, and that sounds so good. Another coach that I follow calls it her like following the GPS. On the GPS, it shows you different turns, and if you have multiple destinations, so it shows you that. So seeing like if you're a visual person like me, look at your client journey map as that. It's not like a funnel does basically that, but it's not about I will make people hop from place to place, then they will not be interested in me anymore. They may unsubscribe. Why will someone follow me on so many places? All of these are valid thoughts, but they become invalid the moment you understand how someone is getting closer to you, how they enter your world, and then how they are moved closer to the decision of working with you. And when you figure this out, then it becomes easier to understand how is someone getting to know you. I talked about marketing has two phases. One is visibility and attraction, and the second is nurture. So the visibility aspect is where how do people get to know you? And social media is the least um, resistant way, in my opinion, for most of us because it doesn't involve you spending money. At the moment, yes, you are working with clients and you need to understand how much time you can give to your marketing. But at the moment, you're not in a position to invest a significant amount of money. Like, yeah, people say call it a small amount, but I know for most of the people who are listening to the series, it is not insignificant. It is a significant investment into your business when you look into ads, when you look into any paid opportunity. So, social media makes it time intensive. You have to either invest your time or your money. Effort is going anywhere. Like, you have to spend time analyzing your ads data. Even if you hire an ads expert, there's only a certain extent of delegation that can happen because all said and done, the ads expert is an expert at ads. You are the expert at understanding your people and your business. So you cannot do away with effort. So, what do you have more of? Time or money to invest into your marketing currently? When we look at it that way, instead of thinking, when can I hire it out and I don't have to do all of the work that I am loathing right now because I haven't given it enough thought. I am just blindly following whatever felt like, oh, that's the result I want. So I will try to follow that path. So, all this to say, social media is a great place for new people to find you, to give you visibility. And the next step, once someone is attracted to the content that they just came across, what is your step? How are you going to move them from being in that space that doesn't feel super comfortable for you into a space that feels better at doing, where you can nurture that relationship that just started? In this journey, it could be like all you could be doing is sharing what's on your podcast, the podcast clips, the same thing in various formats, reels, graphic posts, and carousels. So, everything. That's how you're using Instagram and your podcast. On your podcast, you can invite them to get on a call with you. That is ideal for most service providers. Like, don't make it more complicated. You don't have to make it more complicated. It can be as simple as someone saw you on Instagram and decided to listen to your podcast, and that podcast encouraged them to get on a call with you, and on the call, you sell to them. That is a simple client journey map. You could add more things. You could host challenges and webinars and everything and grow your email list simultaneously. Or you could do none of those, just invite the people who are listening to your podcast to get on your email list by sharing a lead magnet. And also, some of the episodes do talk about the calls that you have, discovery calls that you have, or consult calls that you have. Invite them on the sales call and invite them to sign up for your freebie. So your email list grows. You're getting in front of newer people through your social media platform. And when all of this feels doable, you're going to then add another social media platform. Again, your client journey map evolves. Do not create one and then think that this is it. I don't have to do it anymore. That is not true with any aspect of your business. It's not true with marketing. It's not true with sales. It is not even true with delivery. You're going to work with people and say after 10 uh, clients, you're going to realize this thing needs to change. And if I change that small thing, I can take on an additional client every month, which means there is evolve, like your business evolves constantly. It's never stagnant unless you want it to be. So, having a clear client journey map makes it easy for you to decide what platforms you want to be on and where you want to spend your energy, how much content do you need to create, etc. When creating this client journey map, there is just one recommendation I have. Make sure there is some room for short form content and some room for long form content, at least weekly. In today's environment where it is very content heavy, if you do not have a way for someone to like just say hi and walk past, but also create a space where you stand, maybe grab a coffee, or just stand and have a 10-minute longer conversation rather than just, hi, how are you? I am moving because I have somewhere to be. So create a space for both weekly. That just makes it easier and faster for the relationship that just sparked to develop, and it gives you room to understand your people better. Yeah, your audience also is evolving. We are human beings. We are constantly changing. There's no point trying to hold on to whatever ideas you have. It is constantly evolving. So yes, create space where people get to know you, get to like get to know you, and you get to know them. All of this, when taken care of in your client journey map, makes it simple for you to figure out where you want to spend your energy. The other thing I want to add is that keep sales as all the other thing I want to add is to keep sales also as part of your client journey map, because just thinking about marketing is not going to help you sign that client. You are not in a place where sales automatically come from your marketing. That is for really big brands who have enough clout already and enough of a following already, where people have been thinking about them. They're being nurtured consistently, and that just when when they need when the need arises, they think about that person, like Target. Yeah, they have built up the audience and the marketing strategy as a big brand, that next time when you think about redecorating your house or even a small space, people think, okay, I'll go to Target. So once you get there, things are different. This episode is not for that. This episode is for the person who has signed a few clients but doesn't know how that happened and is very interested in figuring out how they can make it happen in such a way that it is predictable. This is what I do with my clients in Consistently Booked Out as well. We don't have to do it in these bits and pieces. It is a very simple. Um, I have a 90-minute strategy session at the very beginning of this program where all of this is done. Like whatever I'm doing in this entire series, we get to all of it and then we map out everything that is needed for implementing that strategy. So it involves figuring out the client journey map, the places where you're going to show up, and it also involves figuring out the next 4 weeks worth of content for how you're going to show up. So it is it is really very simple. That is what I want to tell you. It is really very simple. It won't feel as simple to you because you're so close and you're coming with these ideas and thoughts and views that are not just logical, they are filled with emotion where I want to get this right. I want this to happen at this time. I want to be able to do this with the income that comes. I want to be able to work with that kind of a client. I'm not enjoying the clients that I'm working with right now. So, all of these thoughts kind of cloud your judgment when making the decision. And then you're online, you're on social media for your own marketing, but you get into this let me just take a look, or let me just take a break idea, and then you scroll and things come to you, and that also impacts how you're thinking about it. So having support definitely makes the entire process feel a lot easier. I'm not going to deny that, but you can still do this on your own. All you have to do is stay focused. It takes effort, and yeah, like understand beneath all of this 20-30 minute long speech that I've given, like what is it? It's just that don't try to do everything. Get really clear on what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how are you going to take your potential client from uh, being just a stranger into getting into your world, getting to know you, and then making the decision, yeah, I want to get on a call with her to see if she's really the person for me. That is all. That is all that I want you to take away from this episode. And make sales also a part of your client journey map, because in this process it becomes easier to forget about sales. As yeah, when people start uh, getting on sales calls with me, that is when I will look at sales. And yeah, perfect. Yeah, you don't need to tackle it right now because there's so much more already in just marketing. But it is better that you get on sales calls with a little preparation. And by that, I don't mean having a sales script where you know exactly what to talk, because I've never worked as a sales rep, but I know from other people who have done that, where they've had the script, where it doesn't become easy just because you have a script. Like the person in front of you is a human. Their responses can stump you. Their responses could be very different from what you expected. And by being on sales calls and asking the same question to many women, I've understood not everybody answers the same way. So you have to make changes, which means being prepared with a certain um, being prepared to talk about your offer, being prepared to ask specific questions that help you sell your offer, all of that is going to make sales feel a lot effortless. And if you don't know what that is, then please come join me March 25th to 27th. I'm doing Sales Call Success 3-day live event where I will help you understand what it is that you need to do even before the person gets on a sales call. Your marketing can do a little bit of it. How you handle people who have showed interest, who have said, okay, I'd like to get on a call with you. How do you handle the space between, I'd like to get on a call with you to, yes, we are on a call together? Like that space. You have to, you, okay. It's not assured, but it's better if you handle that space as well and do it in such a way that your potential client doesn't even realize, but you're priming them for the sales call. And what should you do on the sales call? Like, I'm not going to give you scripts. That is not me. That is not how I work with my clients either. But I'm going to equip you with how the conversation should be led. You should be the one leading the conversation. That is a should. You should be the one leading the conversation. How can you bring it right back when things go out of context for whatever reason? Like sales calls are not just, hi, what do you have to sell? Tell me what you have to sell. It, I find that it is a space where the person is feeling vulnerable and that can cause emotions. And you also would be experiencing emotions based on, ugh, she just said something that makes me feel like we might not be a good fit, or like she has already made up her mind that I'm not the right person for her, or whatever. There are so many emotions involved in a sales call. So I'll help you figure out how to make sure that you're the one leading the call. I'll walk you through what to do after the call, the follow up. That again feels very uncomfortable. I am not denying at all, but there is a way to make it less uncomfortable, and I'm going to talk to you about that. So it's a 3-day event all about getting better yeses, more yeses on your sales call. So if you want, the link is in the show notes. You can take a look at it. So this is all a part of your marketing, sales, and delivery, which is your business. So if you want more help, or you want more details, or you have any questions coming up from what I've said today, then I want you to send me a message on Instagram. I want you to ask me whatever questions you have, whatever thoughts you have, share it with me. Let me help you make this easier, because, yeah, it doesn't always feel easy, especially when you're doing it by yourself or trying to do it with someone who doesn't have as much experience, or is really not as skilled, who doesn't know enough. So, yeah, you could get help somewhere else, or you could just reach out to me. I'm always happy to have a conversation on Instagram in the DMs. Like, that is what makes me really happy, talking strategy, helping you out to figure out what's really the missing piece. So my handle is Seema Pateel, my name. Just send me a message, and I'll be happy to get back to you with whatever way I can help you. And that is all for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.